Wow, a real live movie set. So cool to be here for the magic.
Yeah, look, there's a child star who's getting an hour of school.
Okay, Billy, now what color is this?
Blue?
Close enough. Now get back out there and be the most distracting part of any film.
Even if we can say that Family Guy is one of the most influential shows ever, we were also able to find some cool goofs and details that you might have missed while you were watching your favorite show. So get comfortable because here are some goofs that you can find in Family Guy.
Isn't that cute?
Joe is Quahog's most famous policeman, but even if getting revenge over the man who paralyzed him and left him in a wheelchair is the main focus of this episode, we found a very funny detail here. When you first take a look at this scene, you might notice how cute Lois and Quagmire's cat look while taking a small nap. But if you look closely at Lois's pendants, you can see that they change from blue to red. This is one of those blink and you miss it moments, so you have to be very focused.
All right, Meg, you got a feel for the controls. Now give it a little gas.
Oh, great, it's here. That mirror I bought on eBay. Oh my God!
Stewie and Brian fought pretty hard against Superstore USA, and they even used tanks to throw down this great enterprise. The tank that Peter buys plays a very important part of this episode's plot, but it is also the main protagonist of the segment of our video. After Meg and Peter run Joe down, he impounds the tank, so Peter won't commit any more crimes with it. The thing that you probably have missed is that when Brian and Stewie start their campaign against Superstore, the tank is parked right outside the Griffin's house. Who gave Peter his tank back?
Aha! Stewie, what the hell? Get me down from here! No way, man! How do I know you're not the Tooth Fairy in disguise? Your middle name is Gilligan. Not good enough! You think my girlfriend's a moron. So does everyone! You have a picture of Chris Noth in your wallet. Okay. Stewie, this is ridiculous. There's something I have to tell you.
Lois found her hidden talent when she started to work as a sex education teacher. Even if this sounds cool, let's look at this moment. Stewie demonstrated his intelligence after trapping Brian in a death trap, but after coming to untie him from the ropes of the trap, there's a strange thing happening to the dog's ankles. Slow the moment a little bit and you'll be able to find that the ropes disappear right before Brian falls down to the floor. It looks like magic.
Oh, hi, Peter. Are you here to bring back the TV set?
Now, I sold it for crack, but listen, Mom, I gotta ask you something.
Imagine that you kill the person who you thought was your father, only to discover that he's not. That's exactly what happened to Peter in this episode. But let's focus on this scene. When Thelma opens the door for Peter, you can see that she puts a cup of coffee on the small table that's next to the door. But right after Peter enters the room, that same cup of coffee is nowhere to be found. This episode might have a convoluted plot, but this is a super funny detail.
Ah! What the hell was that? Ah! Oh my God! Lois, don't get alarmed, but I think I might be Jesus.
Look out, guys! Peter is Electric Man. Every time Peter gains powers, we know that he doesn't use them for the greater good, and that's exactly what happens here. But apart from Peter being a villain in this episode, there's a funny detail that you'll have probably missed in this episode. When Peter starts to drag his feet on the carpet so he can accumulate electricity, we can see that there isn't any carpet on the floor. But fast forward a couple seconds and suddenly we can see a carpet right in front of Peter and Chris while they're sitting on the sofa. Kudos to Electric Man.
Peter, you take that thing back where it belongs immediately.
All right, I guess we gotta go back to the zoo, Alice and Janney. Alice and Janney?
Oh, good morning, honey. That feels really good. What? Hey!
What the hell?
Brian and Meg had a brief affair in this episode, which is not the strangest we've ever seen in Family Guy. But let's look at this moment from the start of the episode. The episode starts with Peter and Lois having a conversation about how they'll go to the zoo, and it's right at that moment where we found a mistake in the garden's background. When our favorite couple is talking in their garden, their sun porch color starts being brown. But a couple moments after we see the same porch, it's changed its color to yellow. Seems like the Griffin's house changes from one moment to another. And like a little Indiana Jones parody on their favorite show. In this episode, the Griffins took a trip to the jungle and, well, it seems like Chris got along with every tribe that lived there. This new friendship created a conflict between his family and the other people, to the point that the Griffin family needed an airplane to escape. But wait, wasn't Chris wearing some tribal clothes? If you have great eyes, you will notice there are some small seconds in which Chris is wearing his usual clothes instead of his tribal ones. Great one to find.
You know, if you're gonna shout, we can just talk later. Oh, okay, all right. You know what? Call me back when you calm down.
You wanted something?
Oh, yes. Can you go ahead and send Lois a congratulatory basket? Thank you.
Stewie might be a very bossy baby, and we see him at his most bossy side in this episode. While working as Brian's boss, Stewie has a cute little toy phone with some cool buttons, right? Well, if you take a good look at the telephone, you might notice that those buttons suddenly change from blue to yellow. We knew Stewie likes pretty things. Stewie had a big plan in this episode: destroy Peter's sperm so he can't have any more kids. This adventure inside Peter brought many memorable moments, including the non-birth of his brother, Bertram, who will later become one of the most recurring characters from the show's cast. There's a scene where we found a very cool detail in the episode, so let's watch it. When both Lois and Peter are eating watermelons naked on their beds, there's a moment in which Peter forces the fruit into Lois's mouth. Well, it's at that same moment in which Peter's eyes change their color, and they end up the same color as his skin for a second. If this episode wasn't strange enough, this made it even creepier. But this is an instant classic.
Come on, you son of a... Ah. Me. Brian, would you mind?
Well, we could have saved this moment for a racism video, but we decided that this animation error was too cool to be left out. After the FCC censors Peter for his reckless and over-the-top attitude, we see that the Griffin's family lifestyle changes a lot because they are 24/7 with vigilance. In this scene, we see that Lois is trying to have some chips in the kitchen. We see that an African-American man scares her with an air horn. Well, some seconds after that, the same man blows the air horn again, but this time his hand is white. We don't know what the animators meant with this error, but it is a pretty delicate one. Well, there you have it, Family Guy fans. Those are some animation errors and goofs that you can find in your favorite show. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel so we can provide you with even funnier Family Guy content. Until the next time, goodbye.
I'm beginning to think those vodka cranberries may have had alcohol in them.